Blog Talk Radio.
This is the EWN Radio Network. Welcome to Thriving Entrepreneur with your host, Steve Kidd, third-generation minister and business coach. Join Steve and his guests to get answers to your questions and help break through to the next level in your business.
Hi, this is Steve. Welcome to an exciting episode of Thriving Entrepreneur. I know some of you have reached episodes and listened to them with fear and trepidation. I don't know whether I'm afraid today or I'm just jumping out of my skin excited over the fact that today is Get Real Day. And I'm going to lead the charge here by getting real with you for some of the elements in my life that I've been struggling with. As many of you know, I'm honored to be the very first male ever that has a show on the EWN Radio Network. It's a real privilege to be what they call an email and be given this amount of credibility and responsibility through eWomen Network. But I got to tell you, my life has not, even in recent history, been that way. I went through a time where I really did not like me. In point of fact, I use in my book a phrase, I referred to me as a zombie. A zombie, as you know, is a creature that's dead, but it's still up and walking around, and that's a very good definition of who and what I was. I was alive, but I wasn't really living. Over the course of about a decade of my life, I gained, get this, yes, you're going to hear this number right, I gained 180 pounds. I was in excess of 450 pounds. I got to the point where I was in a doctor's office and the list of medical diagnoses that the doctor gave me was absolutely terrifying. And the first time they told me, I got to tell you, honestly, I didn't take it seriously. Now, I did make one huge leap that first time. I stopped drinking all caffeinated or soda, or pop, depending on which part of the country you live in. But the truth of the matter is that other than that first time, that wasn't enough to jolt me. And I went back to the doctor. It was probably about 3 months later. I had lost a little bit of weight because when you're not drinking that many calories that a double gulp of Mountain Dew is, I was obviously shedding a few pounds, but I was still in a very horrible state. The doctor listed me as diabetic. She said I was on the low end of the scale, but I was definitely there, wanted me to do all kinds of feet and vision testing and all that kind of stuff. It was a very, very low and incredibly terrifying part of my life. And I had to get real with myself, and I had to realize that I wasn't living, that I was existing, but I wasn't living. I had weathered a whole lot of storms, but that was probably the best way of putting it, is I had really just weathered it. I hadn't really lived through it. And I had to come to the realization, and here's what I learned. I say this to you guys all the time. I had to say it to myself first. You are uniquely brilliant. You were created for a purpose. You're not an accident. You're not here just to take up oxygen and fill up space so that people bump into you. You're here on purpose, and the world needs you. It's time to come out of those dark places. It's time to live our lives. That's why I'm so excited to be joined today with my guest. We call him Coach Anthony. His name is Coach Anthony Elfonzia, and he is an amazing person. He is working with some of the biggest celebrities in Hollywood and in the LA area, helping them live non-negotiable. And we're going to talk a lot to you today about living your life non-negotiable. Here's what I learned. I learned that you have to love you, and you have to bring all of the real, complete you to the world. And that's what Coach Anthony was able to help me do. I did a little bit on my own, but you need somebody outside of yourself to encourage you, to teach you how to live. So I'd really like for you guys to help me in welcoming Coach Anthony. Hi, Anthony. How are you today?
Steve, I am doing so good, and I am so happy to be here with you on this journey.
Oh, well, we appreciate it so much. I mean, you made such a huge difference in both Kathy and I's life. In fact, should I tell them the story about, that Kathy was just telling you yesterday? So I'm driving down the road.
Go and tell that story, because I'm going to sit back while you tell the story and have a big smile on my face, because it's so hilarious, funny, and you can visualize it so well.
I'm driving down the road, and I look in my rearview mirror, and there's a police officer back there. Now, I'm 48, so I don't get pulled over like you do when you're a young adult or a teen, as often. And he comes up to the car, and he's like, I noticed that you're wearing a white shirt, and, I could see on your wife that, she's got a strap across her, and you don't. And I immediately look at him, and I say, well, I'd love to wear it, but it doesn't fit. And he's like, well, let's just see. And so I take it, I'm going to prove him wrong. You're going to see the seatbelt does not reach. And I reach over and I pull it down and click. It goes right in. And I'm like, well, so you see, we've been working with this trainer, and obviously it's working.
See, Steve, I can imagine your elation and your frustration at the same time. You were elated that you were able to put the seatbelt on, but it didn't last long, because I could imagine the look on the police officer's face when he was looking at you going, yeah, buddy, okay, that was a great story, but here's the ticket anyway. So did he give you a ticket, or did he appreciate your story?
He did appreciate my story. He actually told me that I needed to go get a seatbelt extender, and for the very first time ever in my life, I actually got away with just a warning, which is a real twist for me, and a real testament to how much of the difference cutting your hair can do. Anthony's never seen me that way, but I had, in February of 2014, I actually cut somewhere between 17 and 19 inches off of my hair, and had been that way.
Whoa.
Kathy had actually never seen me in 13 years of marriage with short hair. It's a little bit nicer. People treat you a little bit better with short hair.
So now you say that, you got to send me pictures. I have to see pictures.
Absolutely, sure, yeah.
Well,
Anthony,
you transform your hair, and you're in the middle of transforming your body at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us a little bit about you. What got you to this point to working with some of the amazing people you work with?
Well, it starts off a funny way. I worked as a firefighter for about 21 years. As a firefighter, I worked in many different segments of the job, but one of the most thrilling and most exciting was to work for the recruitment and the fire training academy, where I would actually train firefighters or train people who wanted to become firefighters. I started a training program that is still in use today that gets the recruits and those who are taking the test, get them to score very high on the physical exam. And anyone who knows anything about the firefighter's physical exam, it's very, very strenuous. So I did that for a few years, and just watching the satisfaction of seeing guys and girls go from recruits to being firefighters to having a job that enables them to take care of themselves and their families for years to come. It's very satisfying. But I had a higher calling. I've always had a higher calling. I was raised, funny as it sounds to some people who know me and some who don't, I was raised to be a minister. My mother is a missionary in Southern America, and my father is a minister back in Ohio. And I was raised with very, very strict Bible principles. But within those principles, what brought it to me was to be always in service. So as I stepped away from my career as a firefighter, I still had in service, and I kept myself personally up into physical shape, and I've never really looked at being a personal trainer. Now, I did personal coaching. I did ministering myself, and over the years, from being a firefighter, a an amateur bodybuilder some years ago. Not anymore. I'm 47. But I did a few years ago. I did amateur bodybuilding. And so I was always asked questions. How do I transform my body? What do you do? What do I need to eat? And I would gladly give information like, here, this is what you need to do. Here, this is what you need to do. Here, do this. So I gave that information. And when I came to California from Ohio, this is the land of feel good, look good. And I ran into so many people who, even in the land of feel good, look good in California, that were in need of real direction. Because there's a lot of information, but the application of the information ranges from one side to the other. And there are also people who are personal trainers, but not coaches. And I make a distinction between the two, and I saw that there was a need more so for people who needed a mind, body, spirit coaching as it applies to fitness than just do a set, do this. It's really a holistic approach to health and well-being, and so that they can have an alive, thriving life and business.
Yeah, that's so important because, I've heard for years the old saying, your weight doesn't actually happen because you eat too much food. It's because something happened in your mind. And to be brutally honest, I just thought it was because I liked food, and I even heard Oprah say that, probably 10 years ago now. And I was like, well, that may be true for you, Oprah, but, the truth of the matter is I just eat too much, but it really is about all of you and about getting real and getting clear of some of that garbage that you've got in your life that, I don't know why it is, why we carry that stuff around with us and keep it rather than just getting rid of it. It'd be like living in a house and never taking the garbage out to the garbage can. You just let it pile up until there's no rooms in the house that don't have garbage in them. Why do we do that?
That's a great analogy, but that's the reason, if you think about it, why we hold on to things. If people find themselves in depressed states, or they find themselves in places of uncontrolled addiction, is because there are things that they either are holding on to or cannot find a healthy way to deal with the challenges of life. And if you don't have a solid base of family or a solid base of principles or a solid way of being able to express these things, and expression it is a way to push out that which is inside. So we talk about creative expression and finding ways to be creative, to be expressive and express ourselves. But there are also ways to express ourselves emotionally, express ourselves physically, express ourselves sensually, and express ourselves in love and compassion. So if you don't have vehicles of expression, you tend to hold on to things. So just like your analogy about having a house full of paper and things that just get piled on, you hold on, and then you find yourself insulated from the outside world, where you try to distance yourself from other people because you think that your problem is unique to yourself and not to someone else's. So you don't reach out. So now you do what feels good, and what feels good is, unfortunately, now we live in a society that we are not really in control of our dietary habits. We're bombarded with commercials. We're bombarded with foods that are salty, that are sugary, that are fat, because it's all about satiating a need to feel good. And
absolutely,
without these healthy ways of being able to express your innermost feelings, or express who you are, express things, you start to insulate yourself. And gaining weight is a form of insulation. There are some women who gain weight to insulate themselves from attention, undue attention from men. There are some men who, for whatever reason, in their minds don't see themselves as the attractive guy or the wanted guy, so they insulate themselves in a way of either gaining weight or removing themselves away from a social network that allows weight to build. And weight is just now I won't say just all the time, but for some people, a way to put a barrier for your feelings against someone else, so that they can't see what's really going on or how you really feel. There are some who have weight issues for medical reasons, but if you don't really try to take control of what's going on in your mind and find yourself in a place of depression or a place of not belonging or whatever definition you put on the reason why, you find yourself offering excuses like, I just like to eat, or I don't really am not good at working out, I've never been athletic, or this is what my family likes to do, this is how my culture eats. So you find really good excuses not to get to the core reasons of why you are able to hold on to the weight. So those are things that some of the things that as a coach, they're the first steps that we reach to get to the underlying reasons of why you're able to hold on to the weight.
That makes so much sense.
Yeah, and it's not so much about eating a lot. A professional bodybuilder, 6,000 to 7,000 calories per day, and burn it up in exercise and look a certain way. Eating that much, so they're not really gaining fat because they're building muscle. So it's how you eat and what you do at the same time.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. So we want to give you guys all a little bit of taste of what it's like to be non-negotiable and be a part of the NN90 experience. It's something that's available for everybody, and we're going to let you know at the end of the hour here how to really get a part of that. But we want to, throughout the hour, give you a little bit of taste of what Lisa brings to the table and what Anthony brings to the table on a daily basis to the group. We're going to do that interspersed through our commercials here, and then we will be right back.
As I say these words, I want you to embrace them as if they were yours, because they are. Today is, in fact, the first day of the rest of my life. Today I design my life exactly as I choose. And in this moment, I choose to celebrate my mind, celebrate my body, celebrate my spirit. I choose to celebrate every decision I've ever made. Those decisions that gave me a really great outcome, and those decisions that gave me a really great lesson that I needed to learn. Today, I choose to put me first by what I eat, by my exercise and activity, by saying yes when I need to say yes, and saying no when I need to say no. Today is the first day of the rest of my life, and I greet it with open arms and an open, ready mind.
Are you an entrepreneur, coach, or consultant who is tired of constantly searching for the next client? Are you ready to get your expertise out of your head, into the world, and packaged into a profitable online course that delivers a steady stream of your perfect ideal clients to your door and a steady, predictable source of revenue? Hi, this is Janine Blackwell, creator of Create Six-Figure Courses Virtual Bootcamp, and I've created my own seven-figure courses, and I've walked hundreds of experts like you through the step-by-step of creating and launching a profitable online course. I'd like to invite you to a free online training I'm hosting for you called The 7 Steps to Creating and Launching Your Profitable Online Course. I'm going to show you exactly how to create your course, market your course, and automate delivery of it so you can get your course up and running fast and have it work for you 24/7. You can grab your spot for this free training at www.createmyonlinecourse.com. So join me at www.createmyonlinecourse.com. myonlinecourse.com.
Hey, welcome, non-negotiable 90 team. Are you ready? This is your time. You said yes to this program. You said yes to me. You said yes to watching Lisa's transformation. You said yes to all these things, but above all else, you said yes to this community. Now, I'm saying this to you here on Facebook just to let you know that this is the most important part of the program. Sharing your journey and other people sharing their journey and letting them support. Because I could give you all kind of exercises. I really can. I'm really good at that. Lisa can tell you all kind of wonderful affirmations and share her journey. That's wonderful. But in order to go from here to here, everything that's in between is your meal plan, your sharing your journey, your nutritional guide, and the fortitude that it takes to get up every day and do this workout. So I want to say thank you to Kathy, thank you to Tiffany, thank you to Belinda, thank you to Emily, thank you to my guys, Michael and Steve. I want to know, are you participating? Did you get up? Did you do your workout today? If you did, post up like, hey, I did it today, and I'm going to do it tomorrow. Take a picture of you doing a squat. Take a picture of you doing a lunge. Take a picture of your stars if you started your star system. This is what you do to really get yourself going. Take a picture of your food and your cabinet. Say, I'm tossing this out. This isn't on my plan, and this isn't on my plan. Really make it work for yourself. I really want to say thank you to Jamie for jumping in. Thank you to Donna and Kathy. You really, really are making this non-negotiable 90 program alive. Keep sharing your journey. Keep getting poured into. Keep listening to your cheerleaders. Be a cheerleader for somebody else.
Hi, this is Steve Kidd, the host of Thriving Entrepreneur. I want you to know you are uniquely brilliant. You were created for a purpose. The world needs you. As some of you know, I'm blessed to work with my amazing wife, Kathy, and together we want to help you thrive. Our website is wehelpyouthrive.com. That's what we're passionate about. That is what we do. We help you thrive in both your life and your business. We are so excited to be bringing to you Thriving Entrepreneur every week, and we want to help you thrive in every aspect of your life and business. To show you how grateful we are for you listening to our show, and more importantly, to help you on your road as a thriving entrepreneur, I have recorded Chapter 1 of my book, 10 Things You Must Have to Thrive in Life and Business. This chapter is about finding and following your passion. I wrote it with the intent of helping you find and develop your passion so that you will share your unique brilliance with the world. You know that we are created for a purpose, and we want to help you shine. So just for listening, we are giving you the expanded audio version of Chapter 1 of 10 Things You Must Have to Thrive in Life and Business. To have all you do be something that you are passionate about. All you need to do is go to wehelpyouthrive.com/radio and enter your name and email address. Go to wehelpyouthrive.com/radio to hear about all our shows and to get your free gift today.
Welcome back to Thriving Entrepreneur.
Hi, this is Steve and Coach Anthony. We are here today talking to you about bringing the best version of all of your real complete self. And Anthony has a great program called NN90, Non-Negotiable 90. Some of you may not really know, what does it mean to be non-negotiable? How do I even start being non-negotiable? So, Anthony, can you tell us a little bit about what it means to be non-negotiable?
Oh, absolutely, Steve. The first thing that I can make it real easy for you, let's name some non-negotiable things in your life. It is non-negotiable that you have to breathe. It is non-negotiable that you have to get up every day to enjoy life. It's non-negotiable that you have to eat to take care of yourself. For a lot of people, for most of us, it's non-negotiable that we have to get up and every day go to work. Now, whether or not you enjoy what you do, that's negotiable or not. But what's non-negotiable is that you have to do things to take care of your family. What we're trying to do now is get us into a mindset that we are non-negotiable about our health, taking control of how we live a full, thriving life. First place we have to do is recognize where we're at, recognize where we are. If you say that there are goals that you want to reach, whether you want to lose 10 pounds or lose 100 pounds, the first thing about being non-negotiable is recognizing where you are, what it is that you want to do. And then start telling yourself the mental chatter. You can start to peel away the layers of the negative mental chatter that has kept you from making a bold step towards what it is you want to do. Replace the I can'ts with I cans, with the I am nots to the I ams, to the I don'ts to the I do's, to the I choose not to the I have. Say things in the moment and here and now that what you've done in the past is just that. The weight that you have, the mindset you have is a representation of what you've done in the past. And to know that the past, present, and future all occupy the same space. The present is right now when you sneeze. That sneeze is just a second ago. Your future is right now in your mind when you can close your eyes and have a vision of what you look like, what you feel like, what it is you want to do, the things that you set forth in your life. Live in the space of right now. It is only right now. So turning that into what is non-negotiable, and I'm going to give you 5 steps in order to assist you into being non-negotiable about making a health transformation. The first one I said was to recognize where you are, to set reachable goals. So if you say you want to lose 50 pounds, instead of saying, I need to lose 50 pounds in 3 months, you start with the first 5. Say, I'm going to lose 5 pounds this month. I'm going to lose 10 pounds the next month. And each step of the way, you congratulate yourself. So too far often, we don't allow ourselves to be congratulated. Somebody turns to you and looks and says, oh, my God, you look so well. What are you doing? You go, it's okay. I've been doing this. You kind of put yourself down. When you start to congratulate yourself every step of the way. Number 2 is make the calendar your best friend. Where you put down on the calendar what it is that you want to do and you stick to it. I can't speak enough on meal planning and food prep. We can have a whole hour conversation just on meal planning and food preparation. It's the absolute pinnacle key into making a health transformation. The 4th one is to be unapologetically yourself. The words I can't are no-nos. You say, I'm sorry. Oh, I'm sorry I can't do this. Oh, I'm sorry I can't do that. You be unapologetic about what it is, who you are. All of us know who we are in the core of our being, the core of our heart, the core of our minds. But we've allowed family, friends, social circles, cultural circles, religious circles to frame us in such a way that squeezes us into a box that we can't. We say we can't go one way or go the other when our hearts tell us how we want to be, how we want to look, what it is we want to do. Because we've either stepped out and we've gotten our hands chopped off, or we've stepped out and we've either been talked about or discouraged along the way. And it causes us to go internal. So the step about being unapologetically yourself is key. And the last one I say about being non-negotiable, about your health and wellness and non-negotiable, is you have to recruit your friends and your family and your coworkers. Now, when I say recruit them, I'm not saying, Steve, I'm not saying that you have to convince them what you're doing. But recruiting them is saying, this is what I'm doing, being unapologetic about your journey, and sticking with it. So it's not a solo journey. So if someone's so used to you being the one that brought the chips and the dips and the juices by the parties, and you don't do it anymore, they're going to look at you like, hey, you're the chip and dip guy, and bring it to the party. And you're no longer not like that. You kind of have to almost explain to the family, not bring them over to your side, but just let them know, hey, this is what I'm doing, and this is the journey I'm on, without expectation of their acceptance for yourself. But other people have a difficult time with change, just like sometimes in your life you have a difficult time with change. So those are the first 5 ways. There are other things that we can do once we get on the pathway, but those are the first 5 things that we do. And then we can talk about mind, body, and spirit, but we can talk about those for a second.
Yeah, well, I mean, I think the most important part of all of that is you got to get started. I mean,
yes.
First you look yourself in the mirror like I did, and you say to yourself, hey, you're worth it, you got to do it, and it's time to live, but then you got to get started. I mean, all of the positive affirmations, and don't get me wrong, I love Lisa's affirmations. I re-listen to them all the time. But all the positive affirmations in the world are not going to make you do a push-up. You got to get down on the ground, or, if you're my size, up against the wall, and you got to start pushing away from the wall and pushing away from the table, just when we're talking about pushing away from stuff. So I challenge you, while you listen to this next commercial, you know me, I'm always controlling what you listen to, what you think about during the commercials, because I know you're going to think about 15 other things anyway. During this commercial, I challenge you to think about, is it time for me to get started? Is it time for me to be non-negotiable in every area of my life? You think about that, and we will be right back.
This is the EWN Radio Network.
This is a time in my life where non-negotiable is not an option. There have been many things before that I've compromised on. There have been many times when I've said yes and I wanted to say no. There have been times when I had to shrink my light so that someone around me wouldn't feel insecure in my presence. But now, in this season, I dim my light for no one. I am unapologetically me. I am stepping into a whole new realm. First, by feeding myself the fuel that serves my body. I won't feed my cravings. I'll feed my cells, my energy, my future. But when I love on my body, I'm investing in my own breathtaking future. Today is a different day. It's about being non-negotiable, not just about my now, but my greater that comes later. Today is a good.
How do you feel? How do you feel? You started on this journey. You set a goal. You downloaded your toolkit. You listened to your affirmations. You're doing your exercise. How do you feel? Not just about the sore muscles you might be feeling right now, because I know some of you got really sore muscles, of which you can take an Epsom salt bath, it's magnesium sulfate, and it encourages your muscles to feel really good again. But how do you feel? Can you tell yourself, I did it?
Hi, this is Steve Kidd, the host of Thriving Entrepreneur. I want you to know you are uniquely brilliant. You were created for a purpose. The world needs you. As some of you know, I'm blessed to work with my amazing wife, Kathy, and together we want to help you thrive. Our website is wehelpyouthrive.com. That's what we're passionate about. That is what we do. We help you thrive in both your life and your business. We are so excited to be bringing to you Thriving Entrepreneur every week, and we want to help you thrive in every aspect of your life and business. To show you how grateful we are for you listening to our show, and more importantly, to help you on your road as a thriving entrepreneur, I have recorded Chapter 1 of my book, 10 Things You Must Have to Thrive in Life and Business. This chapter is about finding and following your passion. I wrote it with the intent of helping you find and develop your passion so that you will share your unique brilliance with the world. You know that we are created for a purpose, and we want to help you shine. So just for listening, we are giving you the expanded audio version of Chapter 1 of 10 Things You Must Have to Thrive in Life and Business. To have all you do be something that you are passionate about. All you need to do is go to wehelpyouthrive.com/radio and enter your name and email address. Go to wehelpyouthrive.com/radio to hear about all our shows and to get your free gift today.
Welcome back to Thriving Entrepreneur.
Hi, this is Steve Kidd. I'm here with Coach Anthony. We are talking to you about living non-negotiable, putting your best you and all of you into your life and business. We talked about being non-negotiable. Anthony, talk to us a little bit about our poor health and how it can affect us and how it can affect our lives and our businesses.
But Steve, a lot of times what we do is we put things in a box. We put our health in a box. We put our life in a box. We put our family in a box. We put our social connections in a box and kind of keep them separate. But we live a holistic life where everything is really interconnected, mind, body, and spirit, and having an understanding of what that means and what that means in health will transfer into how you can have a thriving business. You have a thriving life. So the three things that I'm going to mention about mind, body, and spirit, and this is how we teach at NN90 to become non-negotiable in your health and non-negotiable in your life about love and about compassion. These three things can be applied throughout all of your life. First thing, your mind. How to have a thriving business, how to have a thriving health. You push past limitations. And you take control of negative chatter. You replace the negative chatter with the positive chatter. That is the first place where you recognize that there are limitations that you have placed on yourself, or recognize that you have been boxed in by the limitations that you have allowed. Say what those are, and in your mind, you take control and you start pushing past those limitations. And I mentioned before about changing your language from the I can'ts and I won'ts and to I do's, I have, and I am's. Second thing is about the body. In order to be a thriving entrepreneur, in order to be an active participant in your family and your life, you have to be healthy. Have to be. You have to have a healthy base of foods to eat. You have to have a healthy control over stress, and you have to find ways to rest. Now, sometimes rest doesn't always mean sleep. It means actually taking a moment of rest, whether it's meditation, whether it's turning all the electronics off, whether it's taking a walk, whether it's sitting down, or whether it is even resting. Those things reduce stress. So those are the mind and the body. Now, the spirit is one of the least talked about, but is the most important. Controlling or finding a way to find what our will is. What is your will? So in the non-negotiable 90 program, when we talk about spirit, it's finding the will to do what's necessary when times are not easy. Now, that can be applied to business, to life, to family, and especially to exercise, health transformation. But finding the will to do what's necessary when times are not easy. So those three things together, your mind, body, and spirit, if you thought about those two, those things can go cross barriers in life and health. So if you have a healthy mind, a healthy body, and a healthy spirit, there is the greatest basis for you to be able to handle the stresses and the challenges that come through to you through life. So if you have a business, and I'm talking to the business owners, and I'm talking to the people who want to start a business, there are challenges every single way. There are milestones that you have to reach. There are that hit you so hard that it makes you feel like you cannot get up. But if you have a healthy mind, and you have a healthy body, and you have a healthy spirit, and those are the constant conversations, it will give you the energy, number one, the fortitude, number two, and number three, the will to do what it is that you are set on this earth to do.
And that's important because you need to understand you're here for a reason. I mean, there are some of us that are blessed to have known our parents all of our lives, but Kathy didn't actually know her birth mother or birth father. She literally only found her birth family last July. And that's nothing against the mom that raised her. She was a wonderful person, and yes, I use the word God because I believe in him, and I know that God literally moved heaven and earth to put people on the planet. I mean, he brings the two people together that it takes to make the DNA that is specifically absolutely you. And that's so much more important to him than anything else. That he'll do whatever it takes, and then from there, it's our responsibility to realize that we're here for a reason and to really explode out into the world and be that way. And I was going to say to you, Anthony, as you were talking, one of the things that really came to my mind, you were talking about your will and pushing one more step. In physical training, that's absolutely necessary because I know all of us without a trainer tend to kind of, short step ourselves, Yes. Like, that hurts a little bit. I think I'll stop, I can guarantee you with a trainer, Anthony already did it with us this morning. Both Kathy and I pushed us to the point where I'm like, you need coaches in your life that are going to do that are going to see more in you than you see in yourself and help you be able to accomplish things that you didn't think were possible.
Absolutely.
I've told a few of my stories. I'll tell one more. It was, what was that, about a month ago now. We were working out, Kathy and I, with Anthony. Anthony Skypes into us twice a week, and we work out with him. And he said, okay, I want you to reach down and touch the ground. Now, you got to understand, I can't even tell you the last time before that I had touched the ground. And he said, okay, now I want you to do it 10 times. Which was pretty hilarious for me, and so I did it. Technically speaking, I did 11 because after the 10th one, I completely, literally collapsed and fell to the ground, and that was both a milestone and a low point simultaneously. But the thing about it is that, what was it, last week? Yeah, last week. I actually was able to do 20 times and stand back up and do the rest of the exercise. That's not because of something I did. That's because Anthony believed in me, and he saw more in me than what I could see in myself. And that's what a coach does for you. And so from the bottom of my heart, Anthony, I really appreciate that because, just yesterday I was picking up something off the ground, and Kathy says to me, she's like, look at you picking stuff up off the ground like it's easy.
Absolutely. Steve, I mentioned this to you this morning when you and Kathy were doing your exercises this morning. I mentioned to you that we're going to ramp up our exercises because I can see how much better that you're doing from the beginning, and I need to see your edge. If you can't see your edge, when we live our life, we don't want to go next to the edge because we're afraid of falling over. But somebody who's there say, come on, you go a little further, come on a little further, and you go, okay, I don't know where the edge is, but I'm going to trust you. So to have the will to be able to say, I believe in you and I'm going to do it, you have to have your mindset where you're pushing past your limitations. And we can't forget also that Lisa's affirmations every day, it's been an absolute blessing to have her affirmations part of the N90 program. When she came to me and asked me to put together a program that she could take with her on the road, this was a very big part of the program of her affirmations in the morning, because what it does, it centers yourself. It centers yourself that now not only are you taking physical steps to the edge, you're taking emotional and spiritual steps to places that you have not gone to because you've hidden them. And and through the affirmations, it helps you get to those places of edge play that you have not had before.
Absolutely. Well, on that note, let's run our last commercial set here and start it off with an affirmation from Lisa that's going to blow your mind. We'll be right back.
I am fully aware that in order to get something different, I have to do something different. And I'm ready. Non-Negotiable 90 is a beautiful community that's here to help me. Coach Anthony has invested time, energy, expertise, and effort to make sure I get to my goal. Lisa and the rest of my tribe, they're cheering me on. All I have to do is show up, not for them, but for me. And when I show up for me, they'll be there to cheer me on. So, on this day, I'm choosing with a powerful, positive attitude to work out, to stretch my body, to push my body, to love my body through training and fitness. My bones may hurt, my muscles may ache, but on the other side of this, that's what matters. And I can rise above any momentary discomfort for my end goal because I choose to be non-negotiable.
Are you an entrepreneur, coach, or consultant who is tired of constantly searching for the next client? Are you ready to get your expertise out of your head, into the world, and packaged into a profitable online course that delivers a steady stream of your perfect ideal clients to your door and a steady, predictable source of revenue? Hi, this is Janine Blackwell, creator of Create Six-Figure Courses Virtual Bootcamp, and I've created my own seven-figure courses, and I've walked hundreds of experts like you through the step-by-step of creating and launching a profitable online course. I'd like to invite you to a free online training I'm hosting for you called The 7 Steps to Creating and Launching Your Profitable Online Course. I'm going to show you exactly how to create your course, market your course, and automate delivery of it so you can get your course up and running fast and have it work for you 24/7. You can grab your spot for this free training at www.createmyonlinecourse.com. So join me at www.createmyonlinecourse.com.
Welcome back to Thriving Entrepreneur.
This is Steve and Coach Anthony. We have hopefully blown your mind with the possibilities of living your life non-negotiable. I'm so blessed, Anthony, to have you in my life. Kathy actually met you at a retreat she went to with Lisa Nichols in January in Malibu, and just was blown away by all the things. The coolest part, well, there's so many of them, but one of the very coolest things that happened in Malibu for Kathy was the ropes course. She went with the intention that she was not going to do the ropes course. She left home with the intention that she's not going to do the ropes course. She got down there, and on the spot, while they were actually binding, putting the gear on people, she's like, will the thing hold me? She's like, if this thing will hold me, I'm going to do it. And Kathy went up that pole. She went on that ropes course, and she inspires me every day. And so I really appreciate her meeting you there and bringing you into our lives. And I'd like to do the same for everybody that's listening to the show, whether it's live or a year from now. What could they do to bring you into their lives?
Okay, well, what you want to do is jump on this health transformation train. So there's a few people in our private support group that have dubbed this train to smoking. This is a transformation train that's really, really moving. It's how you can get a hold of it is going to www.optimumrt.com. and then you can click on the NN90 button. You can go to NN90.net first, or you can just go to OptimumRT.com and click on the NN90 button. And when you go to Optimum RT, if you are in LA on April 11th, you can come to our Day of Health Transformation. And if you are in the D.C. area on June the 6th, you can come to our Day of Health Transformation in June. You can check the website repeatedly because there'll be updates and other days coming along. But in NN90, once you come over to NN90, you'll get daily affirmations. You will get a daily workout from me, daily video from me, meal plans, nutritional guides, and access to a private support group that is going to blow your mind. It is a place, a private place where you can share your journeys, your challenges, and your triumphs. And it is the key to this program. I think that more people are finding success because they are able to share their stories and find out that they are absolutely not alone in this journey. And you are definitely not alone.
It's a great place on those days. One of the biggest things the group brings to you is on the days that you fail. You know, you're like, oh, I had a cheeseburger, okay. You know, you can go into the group and everybody will jump on and go, hey, I've had days where I've had the cheeseburgers too. All you got to do is hit reset and move forward. And that's the biggest thing that I love about the group is that there's always a whole bunch of people there to tell you, yeah, you know, you messed up, go on, just move forward, it's no big deal. You know, as opposed to us living in our brain where we usually do, where we beat ourselves up for the next week and eat chocolate cake while we're doing it, you know.
That's right. Well, the chocolate cake makes you feel good for about 30 seconds.
Yeah. So I encourage everybody. I mean, NN90 is free for the first 30 days. I mean, free. Yeah. How much less do you want it to be? You know, and it doesn't really matter. There are people in the group who I think they're at goal weight or close to it. Well, in fact, I know because I know like people like Chris, are at goal weight and stuff like that, and they just want to live a healthy lifestyle. There are people like that in the group. There are those of us that have, Kathy and I have a goal together of losing a total we've already lost a lot of it, but a total of 450 pounds between the two of us. So there's
Steve,
that end of the spectrum too.
Steve, you gotta give them where you were to where you are now. Let them know what your milestones that you've made so far.
Well, I was at 450, and I'm actually coming up on my 1 month weigh-in point. But a month ago, I was at 391. So I'm down basically 60 pounds. Between Kathy and I, we're down, again, she's right at her weigh-in point too, but we're down somewhere in the neighborhood of 85 to 90 pounds total out of that 450. So between now and my 50th birthday, which is on January 1st of 2017, we have a goal of 450 pounds total, including the stuff we've already lost, not beyond here. So I would encourage you to join.
You guys are an amazing couple. You're an absolute amazing couple in how you support each other and how you work together. How you celebrate each other's wins. It's an amazing journey just to be able to watch you guys do your work.
Thanks. Well, I'm so blessed to have her in my life that, I love celebrating Kathy. Usually I give people, a couple of tips that they can do. Here's a tip. Join NN90. I mean, really, seriously, I can't make it any easier than that.
That's it. You have to be bold. Set your goal. At NN90, we're waiting for you.
Yeah. NN90.net or OptimumRT.com. Join it. Like I said, it's free. Go for it. Do it. Don't wish you had. Don't wait for another week. I mean, a week could be 10 pounds or 5 pounds or a pound or, one more push-up that you can do. I mean, whatever level you're at, don't wait. Go for it. Join NN90. Do it right now. Whether it's live you're listening to the episode or it's a year from now that you're listening to the episode, go right now. I even give you permission to not listen to the last closing commercials. You can go right now and join NN90 at nn90.net or OptimumRT.com. Both of those will take you to the same place. Well, Anthony,
that's right.
We burnt through an hour. I mean, it seems like it's been about 10, 15 minutes, but our hour is gone. I am so grateful to you for spending this time with us. I know how in demand your time is, and I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me and the listeners today.
Thank you. I really appreciate it. Being here. It's an honor, and I am here for your journey and anybody else's journey that comes through NN90.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Thank you all for listening. Remember each day that you want to thrive. Next week, we're going to be talking to you about how to bring out your voice and how to write a dynamic, exciting book without having any experience other than what you already have. You're going to be surprised next week to find out that you already are a writer. You just didn't know you were. Until then, remember that you are uniquely brilliant. You were created for a purpose. The world needs you. And Kathy and I are here to help you anytime. Have a blessed, wonderful day. And remember to thrive. We'll see you soon.
Thanks for listening to Thriving Entrepreneur today. If you want to get your question answered, send an email to questions@wehelpyouthrive.com. We look forward to you joining us again next time.
Hi, this is Steve Kidd, the host of Thriving Entrepreneur. I want you to know you are uniquely brilliant. You were created for a purpose. The world needs you. As some of you know, I'm blessed to work with my amazing wife, Kathy, and together we want to help you thrive. Our website is wehelpyouthrive.com. That's what we're passionate about. That is what we do. We help you thrive in both your life and your business. We are so excited to be bringing to you Thriving Entrepreneur every week, and we want to help you thrive in every aspect of your life and business. To show you how grateful we are for you listening to our show, and more importantly, to help you on your road as a thriving entrepreneur, I have recorded Chapter 1 of my book, 10 Things You Must Have to Thrive in Life and Business. This chapter is about finding and following your passion. I wrote it with the intent of helping you find and develop your passion so that you will share your unique brilliance with the world. You know that we are created for a purpose, and we want to help you shine. So just for listening, we are giving you the expanded audio version of Chapter 1 of 10 Things You Must Have to Thrive in Life and Business. To have all you do be something that you are passionate about. All you need to do is go to wehelpyouthrive.com/radio and enter your name and email address. Go to wehelpyouthrive.com/radio to hear about all our shows and to get your free gift today.